need to know about Zwift Power. I'm going to be teaching you all the ins and outs of Zwift Power and everything you could possibly need to know in order to navigate the site and use it to your best advantage. So first, the URL for this is zwiftpower.com. Once you go to the website, it will take you directly to this page if you are already signed in. If you are not, you will have to sign in. You can use your Zwift login to sign in. Okay, so getting started with the video. So the first part of the video, I will be talking about how to use this, what each of these menu sections displays and shows. Second part of the video, I will be talking all about the Zwift Power scores. And then next part of the video, I will be talking about what you can see within an event listing. And finally, I will be talking about the stats, your personal stats that you will be able to see. So first, here you can see the home page is all the events. So it'll show you upcoming events up to 7 days in advance. So you can see here that you can change the 3-day default to 7 days, and that will show you 7 days worth of data. Okay, so the next section is profile. I'm not going to go too in-depth into this because I will be showing more information about this later, but a brief overview is it'll show your personal profile with your stats and your data. Friends, this is where you can see all the riders that you follow and recent things that they've competed in. So you can see here that, say for example, Robin Anderson here, he did the KISS Racing 100, and that was today. It can also display when certain riders that you follow ride. So you can see here that this is when riders commonly ride that you follow. So that can help you figure out when they're going to be racing next and when you can join them. So this will show you like the best people that you follow and your best followers who follow you but you don't follow them back. Okay, so the next tab is team. So here you can see that this will show you all the data that you need for your team. This is if you are on a Zwift Power team. You can join as many teams as you would like, and here you can sort by efforts, riders, team tag, stuff like that. So if you're looking to join a team on Zwift, you can just join any of these teams, and then most of them will have a separate contact where you can get more information about the team and stuff like that. Okay, so the next part is leagues. This is a bit complex, but I hope I can make it a bit less complicated. So this is just this shows all the different leagues that are happening. Leagues are basically like very similar to series, but they are one-time things. So you see here that these are all leagues. You can browse all of those. It's defaults to sorting alphabetically, but if you go to league list here, you can search for leagues. So if I want to find the Rhino Racing League, you can see all the previous leagues that have happened. Series. This shows the series, and it shows you these are not leagues, but they are series, and they don't count towards points. This is just like all the different organizations and the events that they have running weekly. Segments. You can view all these segments here, and then you can, if you click on, say, Apple Zwift, it will tell you the #1 rider on Zwift Power who has done this, and these will give you all the top times. It will also display your time and how your time compares to those times. See, you can see mine here, but this hasn't been updated. This is just pretty much a random time. You can also see an analysis, power versus time. This helps you see like, so most people end up doing around 3 watts per kig to get a time of around 1 hour-ish. You can also sort by world, stuff like that. Rankings. This will make a lot more sense once I get into the Zwift Power scores, but so you can rank teams. Basically how this works is it takes your 3 best riders and finds the average of them. So that is how your team is ranked. And then for individual rankings, you can see here, you can see all of the best individual riders with their power scores and their teams and everything. You can sort by different categories, weights, or ages, or genders. So if you see here C, I'm at the top of the list here. Flex. Okay. You can also go to the forum. Formerly, the Zwift Power had its own forum, but once Zwift took over Zwift Power, they ended up just adding a section here for Zwift Power community. So you can post your topics there if you have anything that you need to talk about related to the Zwift Power stuff. So on to the next section of the video. I will be going more in depth into the events part, since that is one of the main parts of Zwift Power. So, rankings. There are some ways you can accumulate points, pretty much just by racing, actually. Sorry if I made that confusing. And each race will earn you a score. This is actually the exact same calculation that USA Cycling uses for theirs. So, if you're familiar with that system, this is pretty much the exact same thing. So the way that a race works is that an event will take the 5 best riders who finish in the top 10, and it will calculate and the average of their score is known as the race quality. So the final calculation is the race quality plus your finishing position minus 1 times the points per place. So the way that the points per place is calculated is by finding the average of all the finishers and then subtracting that from the race quality and then multiplying that by 2. Then once you get that, you will divide that by the number of finishers minus 1, and that will be the race quality. So to find out, that will basically give you the points per place, which will help you calculate what your race quality will be for future races and stuff like that. Something that I really like to do, since I am pretty much obsessed with Zwift Power scores, is what is going on with this? Sorry about that. Oh, it's on the record. So what I like to do is actually go here, then sort this. Then what I like to do is copy this entire thing and then just put it into a Google Sheets, and then that will help you calculate all the different data that you need. So here you can see that I can just create a random sheet and then paste this. And then what you can do here is select all of these, click average, and then that is the number that you'll be subtracting. That is pretty much the race quality. Not the race quality, but it will help you find the final Zwift Power score. So once you have this number here, I already calculated the race quality earlier. It's about 125. So you would do 193 minus 125. Then you would find that. So let's plug this in here. That would be 68. So then, since that is 68, you have to multiply 68 times 2. So that's 136. Then you divide 136 minus the total number of finishers. So let's say the total number divided by the number of finishers. So let's say the number of finishers is 40. So then you do 136 divided by 39. That will give you 3.48. So your points per place would be 3.48. Then you'll be able to calculate calculate the final Zwift power score by doing this. 125 plus finishing position minus 1. Sorry about that. Then you would do that divided by, times your times the points per place for the event. So that'd be 3.48. That is how you calculate your Zwift power score. So something contrary to a lot of point systems is that this goes by the lowest is the best. So you'll see, if you look at the individual rankings for A, the #1 riders are riders who have a score of around like 65, 66. That's all the calculation you need for the Zwift power scores. And in order to see the Zwift power scores, you'll just look at this section here, results. And it'll tell you if you got a game. In order to see, okay, so your actual score is calculated by your 5 best scores in the past 90 days. So you can see that's at least 5. Then it is that divided by 5, so the average. So once you have average, that is your score, you'll be able to, if you are a high ranked rider, you'll see yourself in the individual rankings. For everything you need to know about your profile. So you can see the races that you're signed up for here. Your power curve. Activities, like this is all your activities, not just your events. You'll see all your events right here. Z points, which is based off of how you compare to the rest of riders on Zwift. So it'll show you all this data here, basically how you stack up against the rest of the riders. And that is another part that I forgot to show in the Z points section. So Z points section will show you this based off your category. It'll show you segment points, power points, and racing points. You'll get points for all of those things, and I'll be going over that at the end of the video. So also on your Zwift power profile, we'll show you dual recording data. You could actually upload your dual recording directly to Zwift power, so you can basically analyze all your data that you need to here. It'll tell you how different your power is from one power source to another. And okay, let's go back real quick. It'll show you riders that you commonly race against, how many wins and losses. Then you'll show you all this data here. So you can sort by your strongest 15 second power, strongest 30 second power, strongest minute power, etc. There are a few more things you can add, like lag, 5 second, 2 minute, HRR, height, type of power, rank before. And then you can also search for this, so if I want to find that time when I did the, let's see, the time that I did the Tour de Zwift. I'll find all the different Tour de Zwift events. If I know when I did it, I can click on that here. And then when you're changing your settings here, you can actually write a description for yourself so other riders can find information. This is where competitive riders often share links to their weigh-in video to give verification of their weight, power source, and stuff like that. They could also provide like links to their YouTube channel where they stream races, like what I've done here. You can set your time zone, rider name, FTP in watts, whether you're available for recruitment or not, category, and whether you want the Zwift power to assign your category or do you want to set it manually. That is it for your Zwift power profile, so I'm going to move on to events. days, and you can search for a specific event. So I'm going to click on the TFC Mad Monday series that I will be participating in. So here it'll show you basically a spreadsheet of all the different ranks of all the different riders. If there are segments in the race, it'll show you everyone's personal best. So you can basically see how you stack up against the rest of the field. You'll be able to sort like strongest 20-minute power, strongest 20-minute watts, strongest 15-second power, strongest 15-second watts, and stuff like that. Age, that column has not been working for a while. Team, that column also does not work. I'm not sure why, but yeah. So it'll also tell you some rules for the event: no power-ups, scoreboard, all riders visible, how long the race is, the route, whether it's with power category overrides watts per kig. So if you have data that is not within the category limits, it will automatically put you in your proper Zwift power category. So if your data is unrealistic, you will be disqualified with the ZADA code. No Z power winner. So if there's a rider who rides on Z power, which is basically estimated power, they will not be included in the final results. So you'll be able to analyze everything you need to analyze. Sorry about that. On this page, you can also zoom into a segment. So if I want to like specifically look at the volcano climb, I can go here. I can see elevation and distance at which the slope will increase, then reset zoom. I can do all of this. I can click on the link to a Strava route. I can see who the top riders are on this route. If I want to try to get the KOM, I can just see all the Strava data from there. I can also see when the KOMs are. They're all labeled really nicely, so it's extremely helpful. And you can also see a description and join the race here. Okay, so once the race is finished and Zwift Power has had a few minutes to process the results will be shown here. And this is the results with everyone who was disqualified for various reasons: lack of heart rate, Z power, unrealistic data. They'll be disqualified and they won't be shown in these results. They will, however, be shown in the unfiltered results, which is just the raw results done just straight from Zwift. Sprints and KOMs will show you the top 10 riders on each of the segments that the route goes through. Primes pretty much shows you the exact same thing. It can show you fast over line or fastest time. Power curve will show you your power curve for this event or any of the other riders. Live will show you if this race is actively happening. You'll be able to see where riders are on the course and who the riders are, and there's the power stats. Settings, you can change your default team to whichever team you want to use. You can change your name to like unknown if you want to for this event. I wouldn't recommend changing these settings. Just leave it as it is and you'll be perfectly fine. That is pretty much it for the events section. There are a few more rules that events can have, but that is not something that is specific to this video. That is just like event rules in general. Okay, so a bit more on the events page. So you can scroll down here. It'll show you all of the numbers of riders, the route, and some of the rules. How many riders showed up last week? That's a very interesting data that was included there. And it basically shows you how popular the rides were, which really helps you gauge, is this going to be a competitive race or not? If you are looking to see the Zwift Power rankings prior to a race, you can click rankings and it'll show you those stats. No one is really sure how this is calculated, and no one has really revealed how it is calculated, so I am really not sure what this number represents, but it does tell you, if you hover over it, it is 26% of the upcoming events. It's just the estimated race quality. It does not show how it's calculated or anything like that. You can also do filters here. You can you can do filters here and basically say like, oh, if I want to filter only Crit City races, you can just click this and bam, it shows you all the Crit City races. That's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. And that's pretty much it. See you all next time.